exciting episode today. We talked to my student Meredith about Gen Z. Are they starting to rethink college altogether? And are schools doing a good enough job preparing them for the new upcoming freelance revolution? Stay tuned. All right, so today in class I had them read an
article.
Okay, so today in class I had them read an article about how Gen Z, that's your label now, that they're choosing to start being freelancers. And freelancers are, which is a scary time because I think a lot of people your age don't know how to.
It has a bad rep to it, like freelancing. It's kind of scary because it's associated with like, oh, this person doesn't know what they're doing with their life. They're just doing side jobs to make it by. But after reading that article, it's kind of appealing because, honestly,
it is appealing.
The more I've been in this class, the more I've like kind of questioned like what I want to do, and I'm really thankful for that because it's always just been like college, like that's the end game, like what you're supposed to do.
That was a really good segue because in the article, it's from Inc. magazine, and the article is called "Learn Why Top Gen Zers Are Skipping School to Become Entrepreneurs," and it has kind of a dual message at the end. But also, it's kind of giving some warnings. But the thing that stood out to me most is there's a quote in there. It says, "Giving students a clear direction and solid advice on which to base their college and career decisions benefits everything." And what you just said is, I'm glad we're having these conversations.
Yeah.
Because in that, when they said, here's the statistics that are really spot on, that so many of our students in their very near future are going to have to work for themselves. Question, do our students have an easy time working for themselves? Are they responsible on their own? And too often the answer is no.
No.
They're not. So that is why when we start taking a look at things, it's important that, A, are we giving them opportunities to set goals and be independent? Or do we set very strict, do this assignment by tomorrow?
I think that's exactly what it is, and it's the way that we've always been taught. There's never been that, like, guidance to different answers or different paths that you don't typically think about. And I think that reading this article, it was like, yeah, we do need that. Like, things are changing. That's the way it needs to be now for people to truly like know what they want to do when they're older and not feel scared about it, because it shouldn't be a scary thing.
So, so many people are saying, well, how do we get kids to learn how to adjust and fail? I mean, like in a safe environment, how do we get kids to learn how to fail?
It's not an easy learning curve, like especially with the way that we've been like forced to think nowadays. Like failing is bad, like nobody wants to.
Well, I'm hoping there's a new dawn that nowadays means that whole fail early, fail often thing. So I'm hoping that's a new trend.
It is, and I think it's a good one because like it's realistic. Like you're gonna fail, and they don't teach you that. It's just kind of at the back of your head, and you don't want to think about it because it's like, okay, that's not gonna happen to me. Like I'm not gonna let it, but it's going to, and you need to know how to like overcome that. And There's the message. We're sending a dual message. The rest of the world that is adapting is like, try things now, discover what you're good at, abandon what you're bad at, fail early, fail often. And while the school culture is like, don't fail. Only try things you're going to get an A in, because if you don't get an A, you're not going to get into that famous college. This thank you. You're doing a really great job of helping me prove a point. But this is why I get so impassioned and almost frustrated with some of our current system. Now, we're lucky. I'm at a high school that allows us to do these kind of things. Hey, Jerron. But I think most schools are still doubling down on that compliance, GPA, SAT, other acronyms thing. I think it's all that matters. And it's toxic for the kids because they think that's all that matters, and they think that's the only thing that is going to get them far in life, and it's just so unrealistic because when they don't get into that college, like they're stuck. They don't know what to do.
Or let's just say they do go to that college and they don't learn how to
or they end up
work for themselves.
They end up hating it.
How many people change their majors in college?
I don't even know.
Tons. This is honestly, and not that I'm pandering for this class, but this
Yeah.
is why I don't get mad at you guys for changing your passion.
I've
I don't
already changed like what I thought I'd be doing for this class like several times, and it's only November. Like,
But this is where I do get mad at some of you guys is if you're not doing, then I'm mad.
Yeah.
If you're doing and you're like, I thought this was going to be better, this is not great, awesome, adjust, move on.
Mm-hmm.
But for the people that keep telling me I'm gonna do this thing, I'm gonna talk to this guy,
When is
there's no
it?
time for that. There's no time for that. And as we were discussing before the camera, like there's so many opportunities. People are complaining about so many things that if we're not taking ownership and wanting to do something about it, then it's just complaints.
Yep.
And it's not moving anything forward.
nothing's gonna get done.
This has been insightful. I will have you on again so we can talk about what you're going to work on because I think it's cool.
Yes.
Because she heard people complaining and she's got a solution for it, which is very, very cool. But in the meantime, people can follow you at
At Meredith Hayes, 1H, shares my last name and into my first name.
boom. I'll have a link right
Yep.
there.
Yeah.
All right, Meredith, thank you so much. This is Don Wetcher reminding you, as Meredith will, that opportunities are everywhere. See ya.
Bye.